I'm going to talk a little bit about the cheese mix that we're sending out with the pizza subscription boxes right now. And there are times where we'll send other different cheeses for particular pizzas, but this will be the main cheese mix that we have. We've got a mix here of shredded cheddar and mozzarella. So the cheddar is from Grafton. We started a relationship with Grafton maybe 8 years ago or something like that. It's a really, really beautiful cheddar cheese, and Grafton's a really cool company that if you like food and food systems, you should look up and learn more about. They've been doing really amazing stuff in southern Vermont for a long time, and they have the best cheese caves to age cheese anywhere in New England. We approached them about, we've loved their cheese for a long time, and we approached them about making kosher runs. So now Rabbi Dolinger goes up there to oversee kosher runs of cheese specifically for Clover, and we have a certain aging we like. We like that cheese like 14 to 20 months old, so Chris will make batches and then have it aged, and then we'll pull them out when they're ready for us to use. And this is the cheese that we use in the Clover breakfast sandwich. This is the cheese that we use. We have a smoked version of it we do with them as well. So this is the cheese we use in the really popular Brussels sprout sandwich that everybody loves. That's a smoked cheddar from Grafton. We also have mozzarella in here. So cheddar cheese isn't like a traditional Italian topping on pizzas, but there are a lot of cheeses in Italy that are very, very similar to cheddar. I mean, cheddar is sort of a farmhouse cheese that has like a little sharpness and a little funkiness to it and still melts pretty well. And there are a lot of cheeses in Italy that are actually pretty similar to that. They're not like called cheddar cheese, they're not exactly cheddar cheese, but they're in the same space. And a lot of pizzas will benefit from having some of that extra flavor. So we really like the sharpness in the cheddar. It melts really nicely as well, but it doesn't have that like stringiness. So the mozzarella brings a little bit of the stringiness in there. So we sort of have the cheddar in there for some of the flavor and body, and we have the mozzarella in there for some of the texture. Another little interesting note, usually your cheese should move around pretty well like this, but if you find it clumping up a little bit, that's because we didn't put any anti-clumping agents in here. So we're actually shredding this cheese ourselves right before we pack your box and send it to your house. So it's fresh shredded by us, and so we can get the mix just right. And we don't add anything to it. So when you go and buy a pre-shredded cheese at the grocery store right now, they'll put a bunch of anti-caking agents in there. And most pizza places now use those anti-caking agents as well. And they change the way the cheese melts and behaves later. Like there's not a lot of them in there, but it's like cornstarch and other kinds of things like that in small quantities because they want to try to keep it from clumping up. But the result is the cheese melts differently on the pizza. And when I was a kid, it was like you pull a pizza and you get this big, long mozzarella strand, and almost no pizza does that anymore. And we can thank pre-shredded cheese for that. So we are pre-shredding for you, but we're doing it fresh, and we're not adding any anti-caking agents in there. So this is going to come with all of the Clover pizza subscription boxes for your Pizza Fridays.